Hey there! Fuzzy Goat is so thrilled to welcome Ryan Burke of Ryan's Yarns. I found this yarn at the Craftivist in Atlanta and just fell in love. And you know how I like to go around and support other yarn shops and work with other yarn shops, like on our Good Vibes tour. It was really thrilling to go visit another yarn shop like the Craftivist in Atlanta and see Ryan's yarns there. I bought some and immediately came home and said, Ryan, can you dye some for us? And it didn't take long for the yarn to sell out, and now we've set this event up for us. And oh, hey Vonda, thanks for watching from Tennessee. And so we've set this event up, and Ryan's brought some beautiful samples. I have some really fun questions to ask Ryan that I think you guys will enjoy too, and we're of course going to look at yarn. I'm wearing Sunset Highway, which is in a different yarn that actually we can't get anymore. But the reason I'm wearing it is I think it would be great in Ryan's yarns. So Ryan and I just shopped the table where all his yarns are, and we picked, this one is
Rustic Memories.
Rustic Memories for the body.
Earthseed.
And
Roses are red, violets are lesbians.
For this, and I think it would be great. And you see how you would probably not put those three together all on your own, but look how it turns out. Mine actually looks a lot like the sample picture on the cover. Yes, sometimes I do that too. But yes, so Ryan had a desire to fill his local yarn shop, Revival Yarns in Athens, which I've also been to. It is a very fantastic store with just beautiful colors, and it does. When I went there, they had some bulky yarn that you had just started dyeing too. Ryan grew up in Savannah, and then he relocated to Athens and started knitting at a university knit group. So we're really glad to have you, Ryan. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So what are you working on right there?
I'm just knitting a sock. I like to keep a little sock in my bag. It's my colorway called I'm So Gay. Just lots of rainbow speckles on a white base, but I also have a version of this with the same speckles on a gray base.
Yeah. And so I'm noticing too that you like to do toe up.
Yes, my preferred sock method is to toe up, and I'll knit a long tube for the length of both socks, and then I split it later and I'll add the cuffs, toes, and heels.
Oh, there's a book like that.
Yeah. I've been hearing about this book.
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
Yeah,
but
we have it here. We can show you that. I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, I started teaching a class on it a couple months ago.
Okay.
I'm teaching it again soon, so it's a fun method.
I wish you were here. It's a little long of a commute, but so hey, Betty and Harriet, you guys come on down this afternoon and visit with Ryan. Okay, so here's some of the questions that I have, and meanwhile we're going to talk about yarn in between. What do you like to watch or listen to when you're knitting or dyeing?
Let's see. So I do a lot of music, but lately I've been really into audiobooks. Just because you can check them out through like Libby and all your public libraries and stuff. So I'll listen to a lot of like YA audiobooks, some sci-fi, some fantasy, things like that. And then my musical taste kind of varies from like cute pop to like this is the center metal.
Okay.
So
wouldn't have thought that.
So yeah, sometimes I'm dyeing yarn and it's just like, oh, I'm listening to like really heavy metal.
All right,
I've chosen some of the yarn names too.
I see that Mary's talking about the volume, and I forgot to get the microphone. So I'm going to go get the microphone, and Ryan, why don't you show them some yarn, because they won't need the microphone for that.
Let's see. Got some yarn here. We already showed Earthseed, but I want to do a little close-up of it. That's my cute little logo, one of my best friends designed for me. But I love this color because it's got lots of speckles in there. Orange, gray, blue, and then one of my other favorites is called Cloud Atlas.
Oh,
yeah.
Cloud Atlas would work really well in. You might have some things too. But,
bring it over. We got Sea Castle. This is probably my all-time favorite, but I also call all of them my favorites because they're all my children.
I would think of them as my children too. I think Cloud Atlas would be really well in the Ada shawl because it's got that pooling section, and this is a great way to move that around. And we had some yarn that had that at the end, and it did. But this is more vibrant. That would be really pretty.
Yeah, I'm knitting a sock with this one right now too. It's in my bag.
Okay, all right, good. We can see that too.
Yeah, let me grab it real quick.
All right. Okay, so what is your favorite pattern that you've seen your yarn used in? Whether one you did yourself or somebody else?
The Pothos Pullover by Gabriella Roberts. So that one's one of my favorites. If you like colorwork, it's a great one. If you like plants, it's a great one. I'm good friends with the designer. It's Gabriella Roberts. She owns a yarn store up in Woodstock, Georgia called One More Row. And she started doing patterns the last couple years. So
that's impressive. That is beautiful.
Yeah, this colorway is called Daffodils and Cream for the body, and then this contrast color is called The Silence of the Darkness.
And Ryan was very organized and sent me the patterns ahead of time. So at the pattern, at the yarn page, we have the links to all these patterns. Okay, so I can see why that would be your favorite. What inspires your colors? Are you filling gaps like, oh, I don't have a pink, I need to do a pink, or is it more like requests or a specific palette?
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I've definitely done some before of like, you know what, I want a new green today. Let's look at all my green dyes and figure out what is my mood from this green, or like what green is like the right mood, I guess.
Yeah.
I have so many greens, a lot of pinks.
Well,
but I've also
they know I love green. I have to make myself knit with something other than green.
Honestly, yeah, like the number of green sweaters.
That's why I love Earthseed.
Yes. And like Sea Castle has some green in it too.
Yeah.
And we got Caves Water, which is this lovely like foresty green. I've also done some collections like just that are inspired by like books or book series.
Oh yes, we saw those. Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre is a good one. Actually, Caves Water and The Psychic's Daughter, which is this one, which is this cardigan right here.
That has beads in it, I noticed.
Yes.
The beads do not come in the yarn.
Yeah. So I made this one earlier this year. It's the Cottage Cardigan by Jacqueline Sheeslack, and it's using the Psychic's Daughter colorway. And I put beads on it. Can you see the beads on there? It gives you a little, like, shimmer.
Yeah, that's really... And the beads are different colors.
Yes. Yeah. Do you know there's a tool called a bead aid? It's basically this little like angular piece of like metal, and you slip your stitch onto it down to the little bottom of the angle, and you pinch the ends of it together and slide your bead onto it, and then just pull it down onto the stitch. So you just do it.
Oh, kind of like a needle threader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's a really cool tool. It made it like a lot easier than like stringing them beforehand or using a little crochet hook.
Yeah. It's called the what?
The bead aid.
The bead aid. All right, I'll have to find the bead aid. All right, so that kind of goes in a little bit, not the bead aid, but the palette. What inspires your yarn names? Because you have some fabulous ones.
Yeah, so we were talking about books.
Yeah.
A lot of music stuff too, like songs that I really enjoy. Well, I'll just like find a lyric or like a line or even a title of the song. And then I'll name the yarn after it. Sometimes I listen to the song first and that inspires the yarn, but also sometimes it's just like, you know what? You're green. You could be like this random song. So like a lot of metal song names in my like yarn catalog too. I actually a couple months back made a Spotify playlist of every song that my yarn references, and it's a pretty substantial playlist. You will get whiplash listening to it because it goes from like cute stuff to the metal, and then back to the cute stuff, and then Lady Gaga, and then like.
All right, we'll have to link to that as well.
Eclectic taste of music.
Okay, so we were talking to you about dyeing some yarn specifically for us, and you mentioned about 5 different ways to dye. So what is your favorite method?
So my favorite is definitely going to be something that's like got more variegation into it. So like you'll do a layer of base dye, and then you can do some stripes of different colors, and then add in speckles after that. So that's where you get the fun. So like I showed Sea Castle a few minutes ago. This one has like probably one of my most complex colorways.
Yeah, how do you do that?
So when you dye the yarn, you like lay it out in a pan, kind of flat, because you know the hank comes. Well, it's not hank, but it's like in skein form. It's this big like round.
Yeah, like how you undo it to wind it up.
So you lay it out flat in the pan like that, and then you can apply dye in the stripes, which is how I do it for this one. And so like when you're knitting, you get like. You know, you get this blue section, and then you get a green section, and then a pink section, and an orange. Okay,
so that's out in the pan, and you do the dye.
Yeah, I'll do it in stripes.
Okay, and so it may, as it being liquid, it may blend into there. But you're not stirring it.
Not for these. Some I do.
Okay.
It just depends. Like sometimes I'll like put the yarn in the pan and then kind of push it up to one side, so you leave a well on one side, and you can pour dye in there, and then like gradually like pull the yarn into it. So like the end is going to be a bit darker, but like further away it's going to bleed white.
So the one we were looking at, yeah. How do you do that? When,
yeah, that's what I was describing for that.
Okay.
You kind of do it on the end and like pull it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How did I get this far having a yarn shop and didn't know that? All right. Any dyeing disasters?
None that I couldn't come back from, but
okay. That's like knitting. Like you can always fix it.
I did.
You make something else out of it.
I ruined a pair of shoes by spilling red dye on them. They were white shoes, and
okay, yeah.
I bought a new measuring cup when I moved because I was like, you know what? I'm using an 8-cup measuring cup. Let's get a 4-cup one. That'll be nice to have. It pours differently. The spout's different, and it just dumped it right all over my shoe.
Oh no. Okay, so not on the yarn, but on your clothing is the disasters.
The batch of yarn came out a little less than ideal.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite colorway versus the most popular colorway?
Ooh, okay. Favorites?
And you have to pick just one.
I have to pick one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is two sides of the same coin. So it's the I'm So Gay and the I'm So Gray, because it's the same speckles, but I'm So Gray is just on a gray base instead of a white base. So these are probably my favorites.
And this is one of the ones I bought at the Craftivist in Atlanta. Is that one? Yeah.
Yeah. So I love just like the differences, even though it's like all the same colors, but it's like slightly more muted on the gray base than it is on the white base because this comes across more neon.
And that's your sock.
Yes.
You're knitting the sock on that. Okay.
Yes.
So those are your favorites, and then what's the most popular?
Let's see. You know, lately I've been selling a lot of Roses Are Red, Violets Are
Okay.
Skins.
It's a really pretty purple.
Yeah. That's the one that I just keep dyeing lots and lots of. Like, I want a whole sweater in this. I don't have one yet, but I will.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So how do you blend your dyeing and the causes that you advocate for? I mean, it may simply be in the names, you know, just kind of normalizing that it's okay to say lesbians.
Yeah, that's some of it. Like, I enjoy that, like, I can just name the yarn whatever I want.
Yeah.
Also, like, you know, I'm gay, so I like having yarn that reflects that. So you, like, see that when you're shopping in the store and you think, oh, well, that's cool. I'm gay, too. I'll buy some gay yarn.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know, like, during COVID, when it first hit, a couple months into it, I partnered with Revival Yarns to do, like, a fundraiser yarn for, we were benefiting a soup kitchen called Our Daily Bread.
Okay.
It's in Athens that just feeds a lot of people that live in food scarce environments. So I created this whole colorway called The Tree That Owns Itself, which is a landmark in Athens. And so I just kind of
a tree that owns itself?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Cool.
Where it's like the tree was deeded to itself when the owner passed away. It's just a cute little landmark. But, you know, I wanted to do something local. So we did that and raised money for Our Daily Bread.
Is it green?
It's like a lot of green with some brown in there too, as you might expect.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Okay,
later.
yeah.
I didn't dye any of it today, but it's a good one. My dyes are out of stock for that one though.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, there was that one, and then I also like partnering with Revival for their yearly knit-a-thon, which raises money for the Athens area homeless shelter.
Okay.
And so I've dyed like a custom colorway for that a couple different times.
And you're knitting on the Psychic's Daughter right now.
Oh,
he's already switched. Oh, Cloud Atlas.
Yes.
Okay, so show them how the skein versus the knitting.
So it's mostly white, and you got that blue section down here, and that shows up as self-striping in here, so you get the nice like pooling.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be all over the place here. It's time to show some more of these, and then I'll get to some other questions. Let's see. Let's show this one here. This is on your DK.
Yes. I just finished this one like 2 weeks ago.
And we're going to get more DK in the shop, but right now you can see how this color knits up.
Yeah, this colorway is called Believe in Love, and the pattern is the Northwoods V by Jessie Maid. And it is just so squishy, so cozy.
Isn't it fun, Rita, to see how they knit up? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love the V-neck on this one. I've been wanting a V-neck sweater for like 3 or 4 years and just hadn't found the right pattern, and then this one came out and I was like, this is it.
That's really great. Jessie Maid visited the store. We were glad to see her. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this one is magnificent.
This is the Ember sweater by, I think it's Yuko
I don't know which is the
Shimizu.
front.
I never know which is the front either.
And we're going to have to get some tags for our sweaters. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't matter because I don't see short rows.
There's a little bit of short rows in there, but I made this a couple years ago, so I don't remember where they are.
Look at that. Isn't that magnificent?
This
I'm going to
one's
get it
fun 'cause
closer.
It's got a little bit of like color work. It's got some lace. It's got a couple rows of cables, more color work.
Yeah. Okay, I'm bringing it right up here. Like, look at these little pieces in here. That is really cool. I hope if you guys are local, you come on over so you can see some of these. All right.
And now we're into shawl territory.
Yes. So you don't have to knit a sweater. All right. Let's see. Let me show you the correct side.
This one is Color Craving by Stephen West. Super long, like scarf, funky construction.
Put it on. Show us how we would wear this.
Oh gosh, how does one even wear this? There's no wrong way to wear a shawl.
When Emre was here, he had one, and he just wrapped it on around, and I was like, oh, I'm always trying to make sure I got the point in the right place and everything, and it never stays there anyway.
Yeah. Stephen has a whole video. If you watch Stephen West's like YouTube stuff, he's got a whole video on like how to wear shawls. And I'm like, yeah, there's like 12 different ways to wear them.
All right. That looks great on
you.
Yeah. Okay, so where's my questions? I'll ask a few more. If I think I lost them, though. All right, we'll find them.
Here it is.
No. You know how we roll here. Okay, what pattern have you knit more than once? Annie?
Where did my cottage cardigan go?
Your
I've
sweater.
knit that one twice.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, I made this pattern like last year with a different yarn. And then when I was like thinking out what samples I wanted to have ready for this year, I was like, I wanted another one because this just has like the coziest feel. It's the cottage cardigan by Jacqueline Sheeslack. It just fits like a cocoon. It's like really cozy. I'm supposed to add buttons on it at some point. I have like pink glitter buttons that are going to be just like the perfect.
Do you have buttonholes in it?
Yes. They're somewhere on there. They're just like a yarn over
Cool.
buttonhole.
Okay.
So you like work them as you go.
Yeah,
so the button band is as you go.
Yeah, so it works without it. Oh, so it's as you go, you don't pick them up.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's also really nice.
Yeah.
So like when you're done, you're done. You don't have to go back and do the button band. So that helps a lot.
It looks great in that colorway. See, I would not have thought to do a whole sweater in a speckled yarn. Is this speckled? This is speckled.
Yeah.
But it's fabulous. It's really fun. Okay, so that one you've knit twice. What's the other colorway that you knitted in?
Oh, it was from Republica Unicornia.
Okay.
Their colorway Ashmole 782.
Okay. Well, good for you for knitting in other people's yarn, right?
Oh yeah. I love other people's yarn.
Yeah.
Like everyone has different color sensibilities and like they just do things that like I can't or don't do, or they look at colors.
Yeah, like I want that color, but I don't like it well enough to dye it.
Yeah. Like I appreciate everyone's like what they bring to the table.
Okay. What's your most handy item in your Notion bag? We love to talk about our tools and our Notions.
The knitting barber cords have been really useful lately.
Yeah,
I've been
we
knitting
call them try-on tubing. Yeah.
I've been using that because I've been knitting a lot of sweaters in the past year. Like that's just been like my mood. So it's like very nice to be able to like put the sleeve stitches on those or like try it on, things like that. So I always have the tube in
My
bag.
friend Sarah Keller at Not Another Hat told me that they're great for trying on hats. It never occurred to me. Of course, because it's small. Yeah, right? I always thought it needed to be the sweater.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so what do you do for fun or to relax? You were telling me you have a pretty rigorous schedule because you work full-time not at doing this.
Yes.
He works full-time at the University of Georgia and then dyes 2 days a week?
Yeah, usually 2
Yeah,
days.
works at Revival Yarns and then also runs some knit groups. So what do you do?
And I'm in grad school.
Okay, that's true. Right, I forgot about that part too.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun or to relax?
I read a lot. Like
Okay.
I've listened to like 45 audiobooks this year already.
It's only March.
It's only March. I do listen at double speed because I
listen to a lot of podcasts at least time and a half.
Yeah, it's a little more closer to the speed that we talk at, so it just keeps things moving.
That's really funny.
I'll get distracted if it's not sped up because it doesn't move quite fast enough, and then I'm just like, la 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 la. Like, oh wait, what was happening? Then I go back like a minute.
Yeah, but that's nice because you could just hit the rewind button.
Yes.
What is the strangest place you've ever knitted? We're going to ask these questions of all the dyers that are come visit us. So as you can see, we put Ryan on the spot. We can't wait to put Alicia's coming next month.
Okay, so I would say it's probably let's see. This past October, I went to see Iron Maiden, the metal band, in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I took a sock to the concert, and I was going through security, and like, I passed them the bag or whatever, and they
and
open it up.
You've got metal
it's just
needles.
This cute little bag. I was like, just hand it to them, and they reach into it, and they're like, what is this? And I was like, it's yarn. And they're like, but why? And I was like, it's yarn.
I'm going to
and
be
they were
waiting
just like,
a long time.
Okay. And then they just put it back in the bag, and I just went on with my life.
And they didn't care about your metal needles.
It was kind of inverted on itself.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? That's fine. If they don't see that there are needles here and they think I'm just carrying a ball of yarn into the concert, this is fine.
Yeah.
And so I knitted
really
throughout
funny.
that whole concert. I'm not good at sitting still without my knitting.
There you go. For the rest of us who don't feel like we can knit in public places, you got that right there. Yeah.
But some concerts, they don't actually, if it's a metal concert, people have a lot of spikes on their clothing anyway sometimes.
Yeah,
They
could just headbutt you.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't think they're going to care about little, 9-inch circular needles.
Well, that's a good point. Okay, do you have a dream trip? A trip that you would doesn't have to be related to knitting, but we know you will be knitting on it.
I think I actually have my dream trip scheduled for June. I got invited to do a trunk show at Firebird Yarns in San Francisco in June.
Wow.
So, and I've never been to San Francisco, but I've always wanted to visit.
Yeah, me neither. That's fabulous.
I think that probably
that's amazing. I feel really privileged to have you here. Okay, and the last question is, how has your job or your work influenced the colors or your dye process?
Okay. Yeah. So I think what really helped before I started dyeing yarn was working in a yarn store environment for so long before I started dyeing. So I've been working for Revival Yarns for about 5.5 years now. And I've been dyeing for about 3. So that first 2.5 years before then, I was just kind of selling all the yarn, squishing it, helping people pick out their color palettes for different projects. And so seeing what other people are pairing together really helped diversify my sense of what you can pair and what's going to look good and maybe what to avoid.
Well, even the 3 you have in here, I wouldn't necessarily put them together, but when you do, it gives it the energy that it needs.
Yeah, I really like just the high contrast of all of these. The pink and the maroon and the blue have nothing in common with each other, so it's very graphic.
Yeah, like these, these 3 here, have nothing to do with each other, but would still look great in this because this has a little bit of fuchsia and this is the purple. And anyway, I just think it would make a great sunset highway. All right, those are the questions that we have for Ryan. Ryan's going to be here today shopping with you guys. Come in and look for some yarn. We have many of the colors up that we have shown you online already, and towards the end of the day, we will put the rest of them up. It just takes a little bit of time to get everything all worked there. But if you come in the store, they're here on the table ready for you to make your choices, and Ryan can help you put together some really great combos.
I love helping you pick out palettes, and I'll give you some pattern suggestions too if you need them.
yeah, because he's got many here that we're going to write down. Oh, let's see, we got 2 more shawls.
Oh, yeah.
I would have kicked myself later. Okay, this is the Stephen West also, isn't it?
Yeah, both of them are.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the Winter Light shawl. It's got 4 different colorways in it. What is this one? The green is called I Just Want 10 Pistachios. And there's a gray here called Where the Cliff Greets the Sea. And then this purpley blue is Lavender Lush. And then we've got Fresh Laundries, this little soft aqua in there. And speaking of Fresh Laundry, this is the same colorway, Fresh Laundry.
Is that Dotted Rays?
This is Dotted Rays,
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent. We know
this
Dotted Rays.
This is another one of my favorite patterns. I've knit the pattern 3 times over the years.
This is really fun to add in another color. We have one over there where it then has a border, and that'd be really fun with your yarns.
For sure. And this one was just 2 skeins, but I think there's a 3 skein version. This is one of those really easy to modify patterns where you just make it as big as you want.
Yeah. Okay. And then before we finish, do you have some other things in your basket that you want to show us?
I have been knitting lots and lots of socks. I just like to do tube sock, afterthought heel. We talked about that. So this is Popstar Energy.
And I noticed that your socks don't match.
My socks don't match.
Which is fine. But and then my question is, do you knit both? Do you knit one and you're kind of done?
When I started knitting socks, because I didn't think that I was ever going to be a sock
but you said now
knitter.
you do it in the tube.
Yes.
Okay.
But when I started knitting socks, I told myself, you never have to make a matching pair of socks. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. And so I started just making scrappy socks only, so there was no way that they could ever match.
Okay.
And that removed a lot of the pressure of finishing that second sock, because it's just socks. I have over 20 pairs of socks now that I just pick 2 random socks. I mean, I have a lot of matching pairs. There's probably like
Hey, I don't.
10 or 12 matching pairs, but there's enough that don't, and I'm like, hey, this is
My
just...
friend Paula, who knit socks, she
Yeah.
only knit one. She was done.
Yeah, but I've noticed that doing the longer tube does help with getting it all
Yeah.
done, because you can like...
Well, you don't
carry-
even have a sock until you get to the...
Right, and so you just keep knitting. It also means you don't have to do any like fiddly stuff like the heel or anything
Yeah.
until you're done. So then you can just set aside like a couple hours to just get the whole process
Okay.
done at the end instead of this. So like I could just take this traveling with me and I could just knit, 20
Yeah,
to
and
24
not be
inches.
counting.
Yeah, so that's...
See, your stitches there even fell off while you were...
Oh, it's fine.
All right, what is it? This is green. I got to ask
Yes,
about this.
Sea
What is
Castle.
this? This is Sea Castle. Okay, so you've got
Yeah.
Sea Castle over there.
Yes.
Let's show them. So this is Sea Castle, and this is Sea Castle in a sock.
It's definitely the most variegated colorway I have.
That would
I
be
love
really
it.
great in this too.
Oh, yes. And the
Yeah.
pooling is really nice
Yeah.
on that one. And this one is Just a Ghost at Most, which is another like pink and kind of like dark blue, and some parts of it kind of go purple from where like the dyes mix together. So fun thing,
yeah.
I dyed this colorway originally, and where the colors kind of blend together, the pink and the blue,
Yeah.
it creates this like lovely purple that you can kind of see like right there. But I loved that blending of colors so much that I mixed those dyes together to create Roses Are Red, Violets Are Lesbians. So it's like the same dyes but
Okay.
mixed together.
Okay.
And like poured in like tonal
So you found that out by that happening there.
Yeah, because I just like I like poured some dye in a stripe and then I poured more dye in it, and so where they just like blended
Yeah.
next to each other, I was like, that's really pretty. I like that. I
Yeah.
want a full scan of that.
Okay.
And so here we are. So
Excellent.
that's another way that I'll develop some colors.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like pulling out tones that I like from
Yeah.
like the variegated stuff.
Yeah. All right. Show them 2 more.
2 more. Let's see. This is Antediluvian. Just like a really nice, like teal, greeny kind of like tonal. I love that one. And then we have, this one's called Edelgard. So this one pooled really interestingly in different parts of the sock. So it's like red and gray.
Now, is that one of your afterthought?
Yes. All of these are afterthought.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just my like go-to
Yeah.
method. Like,
Cool. I just, so you don't ever do Kitchener.
Oh, I do.
You do?
Yeah. So to do it to close up the heel.
You do?
'Cause
Okay.
So my heel is
I get
identical
lost every
to
time
my...
I do the Kitchener.
Honestly, yeah.
But I would never know that you got lost.
Yeah, I keep a little screenshot saved to my phone of like an image that tells you how to do it in case I need to look it
Okay.
up.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
And just like a folder labeled like knitting tips. That
Yeah.
I don't remember. There's someone on Instagram whose idea that was, and I was like, "This is brilliant. I'm gonna do this."
Yeah.
But yeah, I do my heel is identical to the way that I do the toe. Like,
Yeah. So once you've done one,
you can pretty
you
much
can
do
just
both.
keep doing it. Well, cool. Okay. Let us know if we can help you put colors together. You can text us at 229-236-GOAT, and we'll have Ryan's yarns while they last for a little bit longer than today. So we'd be happy. Today you get the expert. Other days you'll get Melissa and I. And
The other experts.
Yeah, well, and we just love to put colors together with you. So thanks for watching today. I'll go put the links up for you guys.